The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. What's up? This is Brewing Through the Multiverse. This is a Magic the Gathering podcast. My name is Mike.
And my name's Troy.
We got Troy back.
I'm joining you with a cold brew this morning. I got a Dogfish Head 60. It's my go-to.
Classic.
Yep.
I got myself the Bud Heavy. Also classic. There's a story behind the Bud
Budweiser Heavy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Budweiser.
Classic. Yeah, the Budweiser classics. Yeah. Not Bud Light.
Yeah. So I got a smoker last weekend, and I've been smoking meats like crazy. I tried chicken breasts, sausages, a skirt steak, little things. But yesterday I did the 14-hour endeavor of a brisket, and it came out phenomenal.
I love it.
Yeah.
Brisket's the best, man.
Oh, dude, I was so nervous about it because obviously I've never done this before. I've never cooked, and I tend to be like a cook it quick. So the idea of taking almost a full day to cook it was rough for me, but Bud Heavy got me through it. That's why I got this.
Yeah, you got to slow cook that too. So.
Oh yeah, dude, it was great. Maybe I cooked it an hour too long because it was literally falling apart, and I know that there's supposed to be some rigidity there. So next time I'll maybe do like 12 hours instead of 13. But great experience. Anyway, how have you been, man?
I've been good. I've been living life. The roller coaster that it is, right?
Amen to that.
But I've been good, man. But let's get down to some Magic, man.
That's what I'm talking about. So have you been playing, and what formats?
I mean, I've been playing Standard mainly. Grinding on Arena, and then also got that one Commander game in with you, Joel, and Mark a couple weeks ago. Great time.
Heck yeah.
And you guys played last night? Was it
yeah.
Who was your fourth?
So it was me, Joel, Mark, and we got Connor there. We were able to get 3 games in. They were phenomenal games. And that's what we're trying to do now is typically we sign up for a whole day of Magic where it's like 9 to 12 hours of Magic. But because that's hard to do around the holidays, we've just been trying to sneak in 3 game sessions, like meet up, get in, get out, animal style, and that's it.
That's what we did. Yeah. That's what we did. So,
yeah. And it's been working. It's happening. So
yeah. But let me say that Standard, what's going on in Standard right now is absolutely crazy, right? I mean, the format is so deep and
fucking premium.
It's deep and wide, man. There's a vast collection to choose from, and no, but it's awesome though. I think the card pool is really unique, and there's just all kinds of cool, diverse strategies available in there. What have you been enjoying? What have you been playing in Standard?
Oof. Well, so Standard's as good as it gets. It's amazing. Before we get into it, let me just ask, do you play any other, like, are you playing Explorer or anything like that? Or when you sign on, it's for the Standards?
Absolutely. Actually, that's been for probably about the past 6 months, or at least since I haven't been on the podcast so much. Yeah, definitely not even messing around with any Explorer, Pioneer, Modern, anything like that, because I don't have that collection, man, in paper.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Now, if you did, would you, or still at the end of the day you sign in, it's for the Standard?
That's a great question, and it's funny because I think at the end of the day it is still Standard anyway, right?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I like the modern gameplay. Like, I mean modern in terms of recent, not the format, but I mean I like the gameplay. I like the art on a lot of the newer cards. I guess there's probably older sets that I do enjoy in particular. But I find the art on some of the older cards, I don't know. Some of it's so great, right? And then I guess there's a lot of chaff that I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you could always make
People
chaff
hate it.
work. I actually, in my
Yeah.
standard deck, I have a chaff card that is actually my winning card. So there's
Yeah.
always
Oh, well,
Ah,
yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes
there's
an
always-
uncommon or common, and especially recently in the new sets they've been putting out, there's been uncommons and commons that are just eating it up out there. I mean, deep cavern bats.
great example. My God, yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know?
uncommon is the new rare, right?
Really? Yeah, actually. So yeah, deep cavern bats. We got sheltered by ghosts, which I heard you and Joel mention on the pod a couple
Yeah,
weeks
man.
ago, and that card is just for 2 mana. 1 and a white. It's just doing so much work. It's not on par with it. It's well
Yeah.
above par.
They could have made it 3 mana and it still would have been a banger. The fact that it's 2 mana is just brutal.
And so right now I'm playing an Orzhov list in standard, and I'm telling you,
Just Orzhov, no green in there. Okay,
right.
Right.
I was
What are you
I was
doing?
doing the green, and then I feel like I dipped my toe in the pool of this Orzhov, and it's really been working out. And I'm gonna shout out in particular on this list. I mean, there's a bunch of cards, but Amalia Benavides from Lost Caverns. Do you know
Okay.
this card?
I do. Read it out.
It's a white and a black. Amalia, it's got ward, pay 3 life. Whenever you gain life, Amalia explores, then destroy all other creatures if its power is exactly 20. So, what this card does for the 2 mana when you put it down is just, I can't even, like, it's like more than the sum of its parts, kind of,
Is it the explorers? Is it the
Yes.
fact that she gets to explore,
Yes.
or is it
Yes.
the war?
Every time. So if you build a life gain deck, every single instance that that you gain life, it's gonna also explore. So it's either gonna get a counter on it or it's gonna draw you land, essentially. Right?
Okay. Yeah. There it is. I'm pulling
There
it
you
up
go.
right now.
Oh my god, this card.
Yeah.
It's not look, it's banned in Explorer because there was too many. I heard that when this was legal in Explorer, it was great, but it was also a little fragile, kind of like
Okay.
it would either take off in a game or I'm sure probably if they had removal, even if you're running 4 copies, if they just keep removing it, might be effective. But in my list, it's almost just like a bonus because the list is functioning so well, even outside of this card. You know what I mean? And then this is just like icing on the cake. So
have you gotten it to 20 power and gotten it to explode?
I have, but not
Nice.
in recent games. Recent games haven't needed it. They're too quick. I guess they're not letting it's not playing out long enough to get to 20 power. But let's see. So, oh my gosh, what's come out recently in standard? We got Authority of the Consuls. Now that's a reprint of an older card.
Yes. Yeah, that came out in Kaladesh.
Yeah. Are you familiar with this?
Very, yeah. It's hosed me a lot, and it's great in stacks decks. That's where I normally run into it.
It's almost like a ley line. I feel like this is functioning almost like a ley line in the beginning of the game because if you have that 1 white mana in the beginning, which you're probably going to have if you're running this in your deck, it's just putting that tax, as you said, like immediately on the other player.
Yeah. So
Um,
what? One white mana. It's an enchantment. Creatures your opponents control enter tapped, and whenever a creature an opponent controls enters, you gain 1 life. So it is. It's a great turn one because right off the bat you're going to be gaining. Oh, and this is how you get Amalia to grow without doing anything.
well,
I
that
see.
and then Case of the Uneaten Feast, which is also 1 mana. Now we have Hinterland Sanctifier, which came out in Foundations as well. It's a one white. I'm sorry, just one white pip. Rabbit Cleric. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. So there's just all these little pieces that are gonna just continue to gain you 1 life, and then all of these triggers give you an Explorer if you have Amalia out. Essence Channeler, I know you've talked about that card before.
One of my favorites. One of the best
It-
cards in Standard.
I snagged I think 4 copies of this and like a couple like foil extended arts and stuff out of the dollar bin when I dug through after Bloomborough. And I grabbed them all a full playset because I just knew this card was a banger. It isn't an expensive card, really. It's only like 96 cents or something like that,
Right.
know. But I guess they printed a bunch of it, but it once again, it's like another card that just seems to do more than the sum of its parts. I think for Essence Channeler, one of the biggest things is that when it dies trigger. When it dies and you put the counters that it got on it onto a different creature.
Yes, dude. And then you put it on your bats. What is it?
Yeah.
Your cave bat.
Got
or
another
whatever.
flyer. Yeah, your Deep Cavern bat or your
Cavern.
Ruin Lurker bat is another. It's a one white pip, 1/1 that comes in flying lifelink at the beginning of your end step. If you descended this turn, scry 1. I never get that trigger. I'm not playing any descend, but just having another 1/1 lifelink flyer bat come in.
Yeah.
Just adds on to the pile.
For sure. Just a bunch of fat bats.
Yeah.
And let's say someone removes your, Essence Channeler on your turn, you get that descent trigger, so just consequently it'll happen.
Yeah. Let's see.
Damn.
I'm loving this.
Yeah, it sounds very annoying, and it's this that makes me think I got to start running that card from Duskmourn that doesn't let people gain life.
Yeah. Now that'll be a thing in my existence. I haven't been coming up against it though.
I've come up to specifically there's a lot of life gain decks out there right now because of all of these bats that say when something enters, gain a life and whatever. I ran across one, and so my current build is like ping damage. And it's so stressful because like if I'm pinging you for 2 or 3 damage a turn, but you're gaining 4 a turn, it's I'm not even playing Magic at that point. So
right.
Life gain is it's the first thing you want to do when you start playing Magic. And now as veterans, it's still one of the best things you can do in Magic. So
yeah. I love Restless Fortress. That's that Orzhov manland that came out in Wilds of Eldraine.
Okay, and why is it a good? Why is it a good one? What does it do for you?
It's the best from that cycle, in my opinion, because it's a lot to activate. The 4 mana, but just having that, if they sweep, then you're gaining the 2, and they're losing 3 most likely. If they just swept and don't have any creature on the battlefield, then they're going to end up losing 3, and then you're probably going to get like 2 turns out of that, even because they're not going to rebuild that quickly. Just having that already on the battlefield.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been hosed by this where like you set up a nice wall and you're like, okay, my life total's low, but at least they can't get through, and then they swing with the fucking land, and that 2 damage will get you there. So yeah, that it's honestly the only man land I've gone up against. The other ones have not shown up. So Restless Fortress.
Bloodthirsty Conqueror.
You monster. All right.
This card's sweet, right?
Yeah. I just ordered one. I bit the bullet and I paid the 20 plus for it. Just because it's something you need to have. I didn't spell it right. But all right, let's read it out. I know we talked about it recently, but so Bloodthirsty Conqueror is 3 black, 5 mana, 5/5 vampire knight with flying and death touch. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. It's a part of a combo piece in standard. So obviously, if you have a card that says whenever an opponent loses life, you gain life, and then it says whenever you gain life, an opponent loses life, and the opponent loses life, so you gain life, and then it'll pin them out. There's 2 cards that this can go with, but even beyond that, it's just out of control.
Yeah. What are the combo pieces? I did hear you mention it, but
okay. So I know the black tenacious or the it's the snake from that Curiosity.
Yeah, I have that in here. I think Enduring Tenacity, is it that one?
Enduring Tenacity, correct. And now that does say whenever you gain life, an opponent loses a life. Is that correct?
I'm trying to pull it up here right now. It's not showing it to me for some reason.
Okay. I'll see if I can get that up too.
Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Yes.
Okay, and then Bloodthirsty says whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. So it'll just be this immediate trigger that kills them, drains them out.
I don't even know if I have had them out on the battlefields together yet, because they're both more at the top end of the deck. And, honestly, most games I feel like aren't going past turn 5 or 6, usually.
Right, right. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, and all you need is a 5/5 flyer with death touch. You don't need the rest of this on the card, so that's enough. And the other combo too is it was the Bloodletter of Aclazotz, which says whenever an opponent loses life, they lose double that life. Yeah. And what you do is you combo that with it's that 3 mana black creature. Whenever you deal damage to an opponent, they lose half their life. And then obviously they'll lose half their life.
Ooh, I hate that.
And then they lose double their life, and that'll kill them also. So that's another black combo that's in the deck, and they all work together. But
Bloodletter, yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good card. It's the 3 black pips that always keeps me away from that.
Yeah. Okay, but in your build that you have, you're just Orzhov.
I probably could plug it in there.
Yeah. I would put 1 in there, see if it does any good, and it's easy enough to pull out if like it's a dead card in hand.
Yeah. It doesn't gain me any life though.
No, you're right. You're right. It doesn't. And
that's ridiculous, right? That's ridiculous that's the standard.
But it deals double damage, but it doesn't gain me life.
It doesn't even gain me enemy
monster. Wild.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So that's a cool build, and you're having like success with it. Where are you on the line?
Yeah, I had been playing some. Right now I'm only in gold because I haven't been playing, that many games really. But before I was doing some Abzan, and I feel like my win rate was a little bit lower. Trying to like climb up to get Thalia out there. Thalia and the Get Rog monsters still, because that's just fun.
Yeah.
Taking some of the jank out of there and plugging in some more value, is kind of what always is going to end up getting you ahead in standard. I feel like.
Yeah, I guess
But you know
I like here's my thing. But
yeah, no, I know you do. But actually, well, so I was thinking if I was gonna play paper standard, what I have, I probably would do this Abzan humans build. And it still, I think, would be really good because, as I was thinking about it, when you go in the play at the shop or even like when we play Commander per se, like, it's the interaction a lot of times, right? That really, benefits you. So if you have an interactive deck and you know how to pilot it, it's not necessarily as much about playing meta as it is when you're playing Arena, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy because they're talking about getting Commander on mobile, and we have Arena, which is beautiful, and I mean the game is there for us to play 24/7, but it is the gathering, the paper that kind of is that's
True.
that sweet bonus that on paper isn't shown, but like when you're actually playing out these things, you just want to be in person,
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it's true. I mean, in reality, I guess I wouldn't even want to play Magic if there wasn't a paper aspect to go and play with your buddies and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Well, I'd probably still play it is the problem, but I know what you mean.
I don't know if I would. I remember when I finally got into it kind of after you told me for 10 years that I should be playing.
Well, I say that to I'm pushing this on everybody. It's hard.
No, for sure.
It's hard being a drug dealer,
Well, hey, you got me hooked. I got addicted after I finally got into it, but it really was the art and collectability that got me more into it and I was sort of apprehensive about playing Arena, if you remember when I first
absolutely
got into,
and because I remember the first time you messaged me that you had bought some cards. You were clearly into the art and the theme and that was your pull in. And even in this day, like let's say you're the only person I know that enjoys sitting down and going through bulk just to see and feel and find those cards that when you see that card, you get that little rush of endorphin of like, oh, this looks cool. Maybe I could use this. And it's $1. Let's take it. So
no, for sure. I mean, I mean, I might go do that today. Go dig through the bins.
Hell yeah. I love
it. A bunch of value. I always get so much value.
That's what it is. It's like I love when I'm building a deck and I need like those last few cards. So I go to the shop, I pull out the the bin of the color I'm looking for, and 9 times out of 10 I'm going to find a card I didn't even realize was in there. I realize I should have in there, and again, it's $1. So
I mean,
exploring.
Also, if you really look at the sets when they come out, as they come out and stuff, and you look at card values and prices, and look at commander only cards, cards that only come out in the commander decks or special versions and things like that, and then you go in and you dig through the bins, I still find $7 cards in the dollar bin like all the time. Songbird's Blessing, which I have in Ariat, was a card that I had thought about ordering it online, but I didn't ever end up putting an order in. And then I went and was digging through the bins one day and I came across a copy and I'm like, sweet, this is a $7 card.
Yeah, truly a treasure hunter.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let me tell you about my standard real quick, and then we'll move on to something else here. So I mentioned it a few times now in the podcasts, and I think I even played against you one time with this deck. This is my build that I've been really forcing, and I'm happy with. It is the Rakdos ping deck with the win of Hidetsugu's Second Right. And I've been playing this a lot since the last podcast, and it has done nothing but phenomenal work for me, except, like I said, when the opponent is gaining too much life, which is my biggest issue. So you can gain 10 life, but if you're gaining more than 10 life in the game, I'm fucked. But ultimately, so what it works is the win of it is, and let me pull this, present this baby back up here. Okay, so and again, you're gonna keep on hearing me say this fucking name, but Scrawling Crawler.
Yeah.
The Scrawling Crawler is a 3-mana 3/2 that says at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 1 life. There's also Razorkin Needlehead, which is a 2-mana 2/2. It has first strike on your turn. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Razorkin Needlehead deals 1 damage to them.
That artwork is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's some gnarly stuff.
Oh, I'm
The
surprised it's a
borderless,
human assassin. It looks like a zombie assassin or something like that.
it
Yeah.
does. Yeah, it should be
Yeah.
like an undead for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe a nightmare or something, but
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But so they both kind of do the same thing. If an opponent's drawing cards, deal damage to them, and that's it. That's how I win. So well, that's not actually how I win. But okay. So ultimately, the way it works is turn 1, I'm dropping Fear of Lost Teeth, which is just a 1-mana 1/1, but it says when it dies, you deal 1 damage to any target and you gain a life. Turn 2, I'm going to try to drop that Razorkin Needlehead if the mana allows me to. Turn 3, I'm dropping a Scrawling Crawler if possible. If on turn 2, I need to drop a Zenith Chronicler. So here's a card that nobody fucking cares about, but I'm going to highlight this one here. It's a 2-mana 3/1 artifact, Phyrexian Construct. Whenever a player casts their first multicolored spell each turn, each other player draws a card. Now, here's why it's good for this deck. If my opponent plays a multicolored card, I get to draw a card. Hell yeah. If I play a multicolored card, yes, they're drawing a card, but hopefully I have out a Razorkin and a Scrawler, and now they're taking 2 damage for drawing that card.
Yeah.
I don't need to be fatal with this pinging. I just have to get them exactly to 10 life. So
I wonder,
Hidetsugu, what's up?
Yeah, no. Well, I wonder what your like best and worst matchup are with this deck, because I'm just thinking about, you're letting them draw all these cards, but you're dealing them damage as you're doing it, right? So, you know, something I've realized, I feel like in sort of like the theory, even in, you know, Commander or something like that as well, is that sometimes it's okay to let people draw cards because they don't have the resources to use all those cards.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
it's a gamble to let someone draw a card.
Yeah.
For sure. But so all right. I know if Joel was on this podcast, he right now would say you never let anyone draw a card.
Right. But this is a different strategy.
Right.
I think.
And okay, so here's the thing. It's math. Ultimately it's math, and it's a fun little mini game for me because it's not like I'm trying to do a ton of damage, and I don't need to do fatal. The goal is to get them to
not
10.
just with the okay, right, yeah.
So it's the only way I can do that draw. Actually, here I've got a worse. Let me read out Hidetsugu. It's a 4-mana instant, and the instant is the important part because a lot of times I'm going to have 3 Razorkins out. And that means 3 damages happen, but he's at 11. So I have to get it in between those, 11 going down to 8.
So you have to do it on the stack. On the stack.
Yes. And that's why it's so important that it's an instant. But it says they have to have exactly 10 life, and then it deals 10 damage to them. Now, in terms of letting people draw cards, is if I can't kill you with the exact 10, I'm going to drop a Dragon Mage, which is a 7-mana 5/5, and it says whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, each player discards their hand and then draws 7. And
sweet. Yeah.
The whole point is I don't swing with this until I know that drawing 7 is going to kill them.
Yeah.
But
no, this is cool. I like the build. It's like your goal is to flood them with cards more so than they can use. They're not going to have, they're only going to have, at most 7 mana out if you're playing this, basically.
Right.
And
right. Yeah. This isn't a break in case of emergency. I only have one of these in the deck, but
yeah. But I'm saying that's your top end. That's like probably like turn 7, turn 8 is probably the limit of how long the game is going to go, basically.
Yeah. Because standard's fast. Let's face it. I mean, there's no long controls. Everything is just trying to win. So
I mean, yeah, I would say, if you're really grinding out there and you let's say you do 25 matches, right? Probably you might get 1 or 2 that go past that, right? Go past turn 7, basically.
Right. And let me also say, this has got to be a best of 1 deck. You can't best of 3 this, because once you hit someone with that Hidetsugu, they're gonna make sure they're doing their thing. Even if it's at 10,
everybody else has got a threat too, right? It's not like I mean, there are those times, you know, occasionally where you're playing against a deck that's just like, I don't know, floundering, or they're trying to draw a card, they're trying to draw into their thing, you know, which would be beneficial for this matchup as well. But I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing out there, it's a lot of aggro for sure, right? It's a lot of,
which works well because honestly, if they think they're going to out aggro me, they'll swing out and leave themselves open. And that allows me to hit with my 3-1, my 3-2. And that 3 damage is pretty much, I mean, because now I'm working with, I'm working with, I need to deal 10 damage. So that 3 damage is 30% of what I need to do.
Right.
And they think that they're going to out aggro me because I'm only at 5 life, but I only have to get them to 10.
So how is this? But how is this working out for you overall on the ladder? Like, what would you say your win rate is like?
My win rate's over 50% by far.
Nice, sweet,
by far. Awesome. Because worst comes to worst, a 2-mana 3-1 will be a great blocker if I need to.
Yeah.
A 3-2 is still a great blocker, and they're giving me card advantage. And again, I only have to deal 10 damage. And what's cool is, so when my turn 1 is Fear of Lost Teeth, which is just a 1-mana 1-1, but when it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. So I can use that to kill creatures, like just chump block it and kill their little, you know, mana dork. Because there's a lot of mana dorks out right now. You know, Llanowar Elves is out. And so this little 1-1's doing great. And here's secret tech. Here's that chaff I was talking about, homie. I'm running Disturbing Mirth.
That artwork is disturbing.
Yeah, it's so gross. It's so gross. I want to lick that. I want to lick that head.
No. Terrible.
But
when Disturbing Mirth enters, you may sacrifice another enchantment or creature. If you do, draw 2 cards. When you sacrifice Disturbing Mirth, manifest dread.
Yeah. So ultimately, if there is a 1-1 and they are trying to protect it, or if let's say I can get them to 11 life next turn, but like I can't get them down to 10, I can sack my Fear of Lost Teeth with this, draw 2 cards, deal the damage, gain the life, and now it's out here. This also helps. It's again, I'm tinkering to get to exactly 10, and this can help me deal that 1 extra damage. Or if I have too many Razorkins out, which just happened to me once, and I had a Hidden Sugru in hand, it's easier to play the Mirth, destroy one of your Razorkins. That way, on your upkeep, they're at exactly 10. So it's the math problem of do I need to destroy one of my creatures to make sure they're at 10? And Disturbing Mirth is going to let you draw cards while doing so. All right, here we go. Smash your do, baby. No. We're good.
On this one?
On this one here. You don't get to see the body. I don't know if it's a male or a woman.
Smash your do. Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Oh.
Supposed to be Sacker do.
Oh my God, Sacker do. I'm apparently that's where
guys only got one thing on the mind.
We're
he knew his answer to this one.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm running this card, dude. All right, boom, edits. Sacker dude. All honesty, you're wasted. She's giving you this eye right now. What are you doing?
Hell no. With those spikes coming out of that.
You're a better man than I am. It gets that goth thing going for me, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just needs the eyeliner and I'd be all in. Suck on those spikes? I don't know, whatever. Okay, so that's my standard build. A very different
cracking another build. Beer. That time.
Oh, yes.
That time of the pod.
Yeah, Bud Heavy number 2. I love it. I tell you, I drank a lot yesterday also. We didn't play that long, but Lord knows I got it in there. So
I got these beers hanging out on the deck, so you know they're 25 degrees.
My
ice chilled.
God.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. That's some Pennsylvania shit.
Love it.
That outdoor deck freezer. It's as good as it gets. All right, let me
putting the 12 pack out on the deck.
Yeah, dude. Although I mean, it's bit us in the ass. It's gotten too cold, and you've had some cans blow out.
Yeah, I was worried about it, but I guess we're at the right time of year still for it.
Yeah, we're doing all right. Well, all right. So let's
Ooh,
let me
what's
ask
that
you
for?
here.
I
Oh
should be a
my
bartender.
God.
What are
That's
you
some
doing?
nice
This guy's
right there.
drinking his guy's drinking Budweisers out of a can over
I
here. I
know.
gotta hook you up with some IPAs.
I know. I pounded all my IPAs this week. I'm left with only my my smoking beer. And I needed something not too heavy to be smoking because all right, so I worked all night. I
Mm,
got home at like 3:30 and I started smoking right at 3:30. So I didn't sleep.
yeah.
And then my sleep was between, checking the temperatures and everything. I would take little like 45-minute naps. So I couldn't have anything too high in ABV because I'd just sleep through my alarm to check the meat. So
Right,
I had
right,
to
right.
keep it basic.
Yeah.
But here I am trying to
man.
defend it.
That sounds awesome. Please let me know next time you're doing a brisket on the smoker, man. I want to come over and tend it with you.
Yeah, I was nervous. I was kind of embarrassed because if this came out bad, I didn't want to be
Yeah.
like, I made a brisket. And then everyone's like, how is it? And it's like a shoe. So I
Like a shoe. It was tender, it was falling apart, or what?
bro, yeah.
Oh my god.
You could check on my Instagram. I have a little video of me poking it with my fingers. And my mom texts me because she's coming to eat it today. She's like, can you not fucking fondle my food like that? Don't worry. I put your pieces aside.
your food's from.
I'm literally just getting in there. So
Like, yeah,
but
this is your piece right here. I'm poking it.
yeah, I saved it for you. My germs.
You know what card still does a lot of work too
Yeah.
that I feel like didn't get. This card is overlooked, I think. Honest Rutstein.
Okay, we're putting this up for the fun or trash. You're hitting me with this fun or trash because you're setting it up like it's a fun or trash. So, okay.
Yeah.
Honest
I can see that,
Rudstein. Let's
yeah.
pull this up.
I don't think it's trash. I think it's overlooked for sure.
His name is Honest Rudstein. Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's like old Rutstein.
I was
From,
putting it with a D, like Ruddy.
Which
All
one
right.
was which one is old Rutstein from?
Old Rudstein. I don't know. But okay, Honest Rudstein is
Innistrad.
one black, green, 3/2. So 3 mana, 3/2 human warlock. It's an uncommon. Whenever Honest Rudstein enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Oof. Okay. I've never run across it in standard. I've run across this in a lot of limited when I was playing the Thunder Junctions. And it's a fucking powerhouse in limited.
Right.
I think this is a fun card. Do you think this is
look
standard
at that last
playable?
line. Yes, sir. Look
Ooh.
at that last line of text on there, buddy.
That's
Creature
literally
spells you cast costs 1 less to cast.
yeah. Oh, okay. So it's pretty much it's a ramp spell. It's a ramp creature.
I mean,
that you don't have to tap
yeah.
to get that benefit.
Yeah, and you're getting something back from your graveyard too. Most
Damn.
likely.
So yeah, turn 3, you drop this, you get back your turn 2, you just chump blocked with, and you can cast it for 1 mana next turn.
Right. If it's a colorless, a 1 and a white or a 1 and a green or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
It's
a 3/2.
Get your Life Creed duo back.
Yeah. All right. Dude, you sold me pretty easily on this. You overlooked that second text because I see it as like it comes out, it returns something to hand. Yeah, that's what all black green things do. They're gonna bring something back.
Yeah.
But being able to cast it for cheaper and not needing to tap it to do such is actually really good.
Yeah.
Nice. What an honest little Rudstein.
Yeah, he's honest.
Yeah. Unassuming
Ernest
Rudstein, I call him.
Man, I'm gonna get a fake ID that says Ernest Rutstein, I think.
Ernest. I like it. It's the fucking magic version of McLovin.
right. Oh man, can you do me that altar?
I'm all in.
McLovin Rutstein.
I was just telling Joel yesterday, because he's building the Captain America deck, and I was like, dude, can I paint Captain America as Donald Trump? And he's like, no fucking way. Please don't fucking no. I was like, but hear me out. It'll be a waltz themed deck. His name's Captain America. He's like, no, fucking stop it. I was like, all right, I tried. Oh my gosh. All right, so I have a funner trash for you, and it's from the new set Jumpstart. It's a card I think is good in Commander, but I need to know, is this going to be trash in Standard? And as a green player, I'm going to bring this up to you. So, bippity boppity, add it on uppity. Mossborn Hydra. So it's a 3-mana, 2 and a green, 0/0 with trample. This creature enters with the 1/1 counter on it. So it's a 3-mana 1/1. Landfall is whenever a land you control enters, double the number of 1/1 counters on this creature. With Bristly Bill and everything, I mean, we'll talk about doubling season in a second, but with Mossborn, is this worth it in Standard, or is this just going to be a 3-mana 1/1 that dies every fucking time?
It looks good to me, and it's making me think that there might be a Hydra deck, on its way, something like that. Because there's there's an uncommon Hydra from Foundations as well that was doing some work. Let me see.
Yeah. There's the Hydra. Whenever you put a 1/1 counter on a non-Hydra creature, that also gets a 1/1 counter. So you have to be careful with putting too many Hydras. But I mean, you also have Gold Vein Hydra.
There you go. Yep.
Which I don't know why I don't see that anywhere. Why is no one running Gold Vein?
Right. And then we've got doubling season. I think there might be some parts and pieces to.
Are you running? Would you run? Because I know you're not.
I'm thinking about Hardened Scales right now. That's not in
the 1-mana one.
Right?
No, it's not. I cast one last night. Actually, I cast a Hardened Scales,
right,
in my Kate deck. But okay, so is doubling season not good enough for Standard? Is it too high CMC and no benefit?
I think that's it, right? If it was 4 mana, it's 5 mana, right?
5 mana, yeah.
Yeah, if it was 4 mana, I feel like that's the power creep that it's missing, kind of. Yeah. That's a card. That's a card that I almost wish they could just fix the mana cost on it. You know what I mean?
Or just print a better one. Call it tripling season. Same mana cost.
That's a nice way to yeah. But then you're kind of decreasing the value of doubling season pretty hard. So you're probably frustrating a lot of players that paid whatever it was for their doubling season.
Well, I mean, so they've reprinted this in 3 different sets in the past
it's been a bunch. It's been a
few months.
Yeah.
Not to mention we're just we're agreeing it's not that good right now. So by making a better version, you're not diminishing doubling season because we're already saying it's not good anymore. You're just putting out the new hotness, so or
that's
make a cheaper doubling season.
That's a good point.
But it's more. Oh wait, that's Parallel Lives. Then is just it. It happens for everybody. So maybe just reprint Parallel Lives. Is that the better card? Because that's 4 mana. I don't know.
Remember when you were untapping all your lands at the end of everybody's turn with Wilderness Reclamation?
Yes. Yes. Well, because I'm so used to Seedborn Muse, which does it on everyone's turn. Why would they make a card that doesn't? Trash. Wilderness Reclamation's trash.
I mean, it's not expensive either. Anyway, right? That's a $1 bin card for sure.
Yeah. It was good in Standard when it was in Standard. But,
it's a good effect still, but yeah. Well, in 60 card, you only got one, one untap, or one,
That's true. It could, because then technically it is every untap step you untap it, really. But I get it. I just not a card for me.
Had to get you on that one.
Oh yeah. It's
come on.
I'm not the best of Magic players.
What did I? Oh, get out of here! You are good. You know the cards a lot.
Well, that's it. I have the library in my head, but like
Yeah.
I don't know how to use these tools. I just got a nice garage of them. That's all. But
That's funny. That's so funny.
yeah. My favorite though was building Goldberry and then finally putting it out there and realizing that I didn't read that properly. What are you gonna do?
All right. What have I done? What have I done like that?
So that's the problem. Is you're a tight Magic player. You play slow, but you really think out your plans way better than I ever will. You know,
that's funny.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
there you go.
I'm like an Uzi, just spraying everywhere, and you're like a sniper. You know, you just taking your time, hit your mark.
But that's my. There you go. There's my folly right there. Is that I play too slow. Right.
Yeah, I mean, but if you win, was it a bad thing? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Because like, all right, how many times have I finished my turn in like 30 seconds and be like, oh fuck, wait, that's not because when I draw that card, whatever that card is, I'm so excited that I forget about the entire game plan I just had. And I just cast that fucker. But that's just the nature of it.
Yeah. What were you going to bring up? It sounded like you.
While we're on Commander, I want to know is there anything that you, let's say $600 just fell on your lap and you knew it was like from like some meth lab, so you can't even put it in the bank. You got to make this disappear. You're gonna make it disappear on Magic cards. What deck would you build right now? What do you have your eyes on?
Deck would I build? Oof.
Yeah,
that is.
Yeah, what commander do you want?
Yikes.
And I'll let you think about that while I just tell you real quick.
Yeah.
I had a little extra money come down from scrap money, and I decided to build a deck, and I built Obeka, Splitter of Seconds, which is the one whenever it deals damage, you get that many upkeeps. And I've played it 3 times now, and finally yesterday it went off, and it took till like the second half of the game to do anything. But I was so happy I finally built this, and to see it actually do what I meant to do, that's the best feeling. Is like just knowing that your build was worth it. So it was good to take a risk on a card, and it actually paid off. So
I feel that.
Yeah. But what would be yours?
All right, so I was just thinking about what I maybe would want to build, and I think Calyx, Guided by Fate, that I'm playing in Standard sometimes too.
Ooh, nice.
But I think to do that in Commander would be pretty sweet as well. I mean, I'm big on enchantments in Commander in particular, I would say.
Yeah.
I like playing enchantments in Commander. Yeah.
I think that's your favorite card type. Everyone's got a
card type. Do these big like fancy ones in Commander. That's pretty sweet. You can't always play that stuff in Standard. You know what I mean?
Do you have an enchantment that you could say is probably your favorite?
That's a good question. I gotta look into that. I don't even have a copy right now, but Hallowed Haunting is one that I really like. Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, I've seen you do work with that in both formats. In Standard, you've whooped me, and in Commander, you've whooped me. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
So when you getting your Hallowed Haunting tattoo? When's it happening?
That is a cool artwork on that card.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I'll
pull it up. That's a good idea. So now, okay, you're building Calyx. What's your deal here? Is it gonna be drop as many enchantments as you can with the card draw runs? Are you gonna, use Calyx to kill motherfuckers?
I probably would go auras again. So it is, the auras give you kind of a leeway, I feel like, because it would be my third deck of a similar type, right? Because I have the Ariette the Beguiler that I have built like as auras as well. And right now I have Galea built as like elf auras, basically. And aura enchantments, I think that's actually what I like in Commander a lot, because there's a lot of times they're just these 1, 2, 3 mana buffs to your creatures that come in and then also do something. Or they're I have a bunch of them in area that I think are fun, like Imprisoned in the Moon and Frogify and stuff like that, that I just put on my opponent's creatures. I did that to your Xancha, I think.
Yeah, you
that
did.
one?
Yeah, you did.
A couple times when we were playing Commander last time, because I felt like it was probably coming at me. So
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. Always.
so I just put use those as removal essentially, or
Yeah.
turn that,
And
just like turn them into 1/1s.
in Ariette, it's
Yeah.
phenomenal because you enchant it, it's now
Mhm.
nothing, but you also
Mhm.
get control of it.
Yeah.
That way I can't
Right.
sacrifice it to do something, or I can't even tap it for mana, really. I mean, at that point, and I don't remember now. Maybe that's something we messed
Yeah.
up, because I don't know if I handed it to you when it got enchanted.
I
But maybe
might
you
not
didn't
have
have
had
Ariette out.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. I want to see more of that deck. I hope you
Yeah.
play more of that, because that was a
Thanks.
cool concept. So.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
right up your alley. I mean, if there
Yeah.
was a is this Troy deck a deck? And yeah, that's a Troy deck. So that's cool. It's nice when you find commanders that align with your play styles.
Right. Yeah.
But okay, here we go. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. So here's Hallowed Haunting, and here's the tattoo idea. You're only gonna get the ghosts tattooed on you, and it's gonna be on your belly. That way, it always looks like you just nutted all over yourself.
I knew that's where you're going with that.
Right? Because you look at it, that's all you can think of. It's like that.
Yeah.
That looks like I was backed up, bro. That's it. That's it.
Maybe if I got it on like my arm or something like that, and the background was a little darker, it might not look quite so much like that. But
That's it. Yeah, get it on your chin.
there's always the risk that I'm going to be wearing a sleeveless shirt, and somebody's gonna be like,
Sir.
what was that guy just up to?
Yeah, people who have no idea about Magic is like, that's some stringy nut right there. Jeez. Yeah, don't get that tattoo. That's so. I don't know why I have Magic tattoos on bellies. Like, you can get this, and I want to get Flump on my belly, and that will eventually happen. But mark my words, that'll happen. No, episode 400, I'm gonna come up and shamefully be like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna show you my belly button. It's Flump."
Yeah,
but
we didn't even cheers, man. Cheers.
Cheers, man, dude. Cheers. We did it. And then we're gonna have to do this where Joel's in here too. So all right, really what it comes down to, in January we're gonna go back to the weekly. Right now, between the holidays, and Joel has a lot going on that'll be announced soon. So it's very busy for me. Also, I got a lot going on, so we're trying to get in as much as possible. So it's great that you were available, and you could get in here, and hopefully all three of us could get in here and get the full crew and the original brew crew.
Yeah, I'm down. Can't wait.
Yeah, and for our many listeners, all of you out there, if you only listen on Spotify, the first 8 episodes are not on Spotify. Or no, they're only on Spotify. They're not on YouTube. So if you want to hear the originals with Troy, go to our Spotify, and you can hear the first 8 episodes. So, but yeah, man, are there any new things happening in Magic? Because I mean, there's a lot of secret lairs being announced. There is constant changes on the combat damage distribution just got changed. Is there anything in Magic right now that you think was a bad move by Wizards?
No choices have affected me too much, really, but I know the commander banning right before, but that wasn't actually Wizards, right? That was right before Wizards took over.
Yeah. They decided to do the banning, and they got so many death threats that they had to hand it over.
Yeah. So I don't know. They never came around and said that they were reversing it yet. Right?
No.
Which
I don't think they're touching it with a 10-foot pole. If they do it, it's going to be a year from now at least. But for right now, they
eventually, at some point, they're going to have to start taking some actions on the format.
Oh, okay.
So
Unbannings or more bannings? What are you looking for?
I mean, I think they should unban the last banning that just
Okay.
happened.
Really? And
I would
what's
say,
your
yeah.
reasoning? Do you think that these cards aren't powerful or they just shouldn't be banned?
No, I think they're super powerful, but I think they are iconic pieces of the game,
Yeah.
basically. Right.
Do you
So
own any of the 4?
nope, I don't believe so. Right.
What a beautiful
What
thing.
was it? Mana Crypt, Black Lotus? No? Yeah.
Yeah, unbanned Black Lotus. No, it was a Jeweled Lotus.
Jewel Lotus, yeah.
Yeah, and then Dockside and then Nadu. And I need Nadu for my Frogs deck. So if anything, I'd want Nadu unbanned.
Nadu, I don't care too much about one way or the other.
Damn.
It's the
Yeah, I know.
it's the those iconic classic Magic cards that I think, I'm surprised that they went that way with it. But I guess they were oppressive in the play groups that it matters in. But I feel like isn't that sort of the understanding before you sit down to play Commander anyway, is that you're there to have a good time. And so, like, if you're not playing with people that have those high powered decks, why are you going to break out your 10 kind of,
Right. Right. That's really what it comes out. Now, not including the, the Vegas mega, Magic cons and all that.
Right.
Your Magic group is your friends.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the point is to have fun. And no one's going to sit down and constantly fucking ruin the night.
Right.
Like you feel it in the air. I mean, we've all built powerful decks and we've all stomped a table before, just, whether it be just good draws or whatever. And it's like, that's not how I want to win Magic, especially when you see your friends not having that good of a time. So like, it
can be kind of times, but sometimes it can be kind of a fine line too. Like I feel like, like you said, it can be good draws sometimes. Like you can have sort of a more medium high power deck and just have great draws versus your opponents, and it can almost seem like, oh, why is he playing such a busted deck or something like that, right? But that's just the way. But I think in general, you can kind of catch the vibe of whether or not that person was trying to again, play the most oppressive cards. Like, Connor has that deck that's like, what has he got in there? Stasis and probably like Winter Orb and stuff.
Yes.
And I mean, cool if everybody's got like, maybe a deck that's on that power level, right? But like, I don't know, if I'm playing like a pre-con or you're playing Flunf or something like that, right?
Yeah,
it's just a different thing.
Yeah. Right. And that's the thing is like, that's a great example because specifically with Connor, when he pulls that out, he asks and tells and makes sure and everything is like, listen, this deck has stasis. Do you guys want to get weird? And we all were like, we're pulling out our powerful decks. Let's see if we can break out of this. Yeah. And just recently we played a game. Yeah. Were you there for that? Was Connor there when we played last?
No.
Little session. No, it was Mark, right? Okay.
I don't think so, but I did I stop by your house one night or something like that? I feel like maybe I stopped by when you guys were getting to play Commander one night or something. I don't
Right, because so anyway. Ultimately we played recently where he got stasis out, and we all kind of like looked at each other, and Joel was able to remove the stasis, and then he dropped Winter Orb, and I think we got through that too, and like we did it. We got through all of it. He was able to hit all the things he needed, and it was a fun little puzzle to get out of it, and we did it. So that's cool. That's magic. That's magic. Just talk with your friends. You don't need ban lists. What you need is to respect your friends.
Right.
there's cards not on the ban list that I don't play because it's not good for my play group. You know, like I'm not just following the ban list. You gotta feel it out a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Feel it out. And then you know. But all right, so you would unban those cards. Is there anything else you would unban? Is there any card on the list that you've always been
probably a bunch because, well, yeah, Primeval Titan for me for sure.
I think that did get unbanned. No,
did it?
I think I
know.
Ooh,
I know there's been a lot of talk about it. That card over the years. I feel like there's been a lot of talk.
Oh no, maybe not. No, I'm thinking of Protean Hulk. Protean Hulk got unbanned, but I don't think Primetime did. That's a good call. Yeah, because I mean, what's the worst? I think Golos should be unbanned. Me and Connor had a huge combo on that on the ride home last night. But I mean,
Sweet.
Yeah. At least now that Wizards has control of it, they can do a slow, calculated move towards this, whether it be unbannings or more bannings. Now I know they're saying that they want that tier list or whatever. I don't know about that shit because no card fits in a box. So trying to put them in a box, I think, is going to be a lot of effort, time, and money for Wizards just for us to say, no, that's fucking stupid. The fuck out of here with that list. Oh,
I don't know. Once again, it's just all about talking to the people that you're playing with and seeing, because like if everybody's wants to play stuff off of this ban list, then just have an unbanned game or something.
Yeah. And I'm still, like I've said it ad nauseum, I'm still looking for silver borders to be acceptable, and I want to put them in, but every time I go to put it in, I get cold feet. I'm like, I don't want to be the guy that's running the silver border, and if I win with that silver bordered card, then I'll never hear it, you know. So it's like, is it worth it? You know?
Are they're all from the unsets? Is that right?
Yeah, and there's the black borders from Unfinity that are playable, but at the end of the day, I'm talking about the older unsets. So, unglued or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
that's interesting.
We'll see. You know what? At the end of the day, is if I'm harping on these few silver cards, I need to shut the fuck up because there's like 40,000 other cards I could choose from. You know, so. It's what I would tell my children if they were harping on, oh, I can't do this thing. It's like, no, you can't do that thing. But there's like 50 other things we could do right now. So drop that one thing we can't do and let's find something else. So maybe that's what I got to take that advice myself.
We should do the unbanned game sometime, you know, just for shits, you know.
Yeah. And
I think
for sure.
You and Joel talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Doing the unbanned game. And I mean, for me, like I said, it basically would just be Primeval Titan. So,
well, that's pretty much what it is. We would take a deck we already have. We would just throw a few banned cards into it, and it wouldn't change the game really at all. And they're not that expensive on if they're on the ban list. I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. Or proxy it. Fuck it. Proxies. I'm all for proxies nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you getting up to today?
So today I have my daughter's Christmas recital. I'm going to that in about 2 hours. So I got that going on. And then if my phone didn't die, I would pull up my calendar that's synced to my wife's phone and I would tell you. But for the meanwhile, I only know what's happening in the afternoon. Don't know what's going on. How about you, man? What do you got going on?
I don't know.
Good. Chilling.
Yeah.
Good. That's good, man. Well, listen, I'm happy we got to do this. I'm glad we got to catch up on some standard. So Commander, we're trying to put these little 3 hours. So if you have any free time, message me on what the time is, and I'll see if I can throw something together because
we'll get a Commander game
the holidays
soon, for sure.
Yeah, and we'll actually, me and Mark were talking. We'll do like an eggnog chug contest while we're playing Magic, and see who vomits all over their cards
terrible.
first.
Yeah, you and him can do that.
There we go. Yeah, that's what we said. We said no one else would join us. It would just be me and Mark. And the loser would
me
have
and Joel
to
would just
vomit
be
all over
like,
each other.
you know, like hitting a vape pen. or something.
Yeah, just side eyeing us like,
What are these guys doing?
dude. You won't even take a shitty shot. Like sometimes when we go to play
What did you
Magic,
get?
I will buy a 4-pack of the shittiest shots I could find at the liquor store, and I give them everyone to just start the day. And you are so adamant sometimes to be like, I'm not doing that. You can get me something nice, but I'm not doing that shot, buddy. And I love it. I love that you stand your ground on that. It's like, no, I'm not shooting Mad Dog 40-20. It's not happening.
What did you get last time? You got some sort of like horchata shot or something like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was a pumpkin spice horchata or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you were not.
Oh yeah, that's why it's even pumpkin spice horchata wasn't even enough to be just one or the other.
It was warm and creamy. It was delicious.
Oh my god.
Take what you
That
get.
sounds terrible.
Still my favorite shot, like shit shot I ever did was Keldon. It was Keldon, Carolyn, and Dana. And I don't even think we were playing Magic, but they brought these cucumber vodka shots that were hell. But we were already drunk, so I remember taking these shots. You got goosebumps while you were shooting it because it was just so nasty.
Oh no.
And yeah, good times though. I'd drink it again. I'll try anything twice. You know what I mean? So
we'll give it a go.
Yeah, it goes good. How you doing on your beer? I'm almost done. Are we at the bottom of the glass here, brother? All right. Listen, it's been a pleasure. We have reached the bottom of the glass. We'll have more Troy coming along, and we'll try to get all three of us together. And if not, man, happy holidays, and we'll play real soon.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me on, and I'm looking forward to doing more of it soon. All right.
Yeah. So. And for anyone who doesn't know, the progenitor of this entire podcast is Troy. He is the father who birthed this. So
thanks, man. Really, it was just me and you and Joel always talking all this stuff about Magic all together, and then I was just like, hey, why are we not doing this on a podcast? But
yeah,
all right.
It's been a great excuse to just meet up and have this hour conversation, whether anyone's listening or whether even record or not. It's just great to fucking catch up with you guys and talk about the shit we love so much. So
for sure.
Good shit. But anyway, you have a good one, and until the next time, take it easy.
Right. Thanks again, man. I'll talk to you soon.